Guys, I have a problem. I'm completely out of bleach, and all I have left is Clorox disinfecting wipes. So, in order to get through this video properly, I need to eat one of these. Hopefully it cleans out my stomach. Oh God, I really should not have put that in my mouth. Oh, that's nasty. But today's video is a video response, and I haven't been more excited to make a video response like this one because we're gonna be told by transgender people, transgendered men, on how much privilege we as a man have. And before this video continues, I'd like to say that to an extent, we in the Western society, we do in fact have privileges. But privileges isn't necessarily always a bad thing. There are economic privileges, there are financial privileges, there's educational chances to be more educated than other people. In some way or another, every single person, no matter who you are, that has nothing to do really with your gender. But what I hate about videos like this is these types of videos specifically go out of their way to demonize you for being a man because you have this privilege. Whether or not you exercise that privilege or not, the point is you have privilege and you should feel bad for it. That's the problem I have. So let's see exactly what they have to say.
If you don't think male privilege exists, you are wrong.
Ah, right. The best way to start any video by telling people that they're just wrong about something that they may be skeptical of believing or may not believe at all. You just say, well, you're wrong. That's definitely going to open the discussion for some serious discourse, some open conversation that's definitely not going to be one-sided. You know, in debate class, when you get up in front of kids or teens or adults, whatever you're doing, you typically try to explain to people why exactly they are wrong, rather than introducing your video with, you're wrong. If you really want people to take your message seriously, don't do what they have done here.
Male privilege is the bullshit idea that men are better than anybody else.
So are you implying that all men actually think that they're superior to everybody else around them? Because if we're being really honest here, of course, there are men and women who think they are superior to other people. Those are egotistical dickwads. People who you really don't want to be around, they're typically narcissists, and they typically don't think of anybody outside of themselves. That being said, those types of men and women do exist, but to use this as an argument of male privilege simply because someone thinks that they're superior to other people, therefore all men must think that they're superior to other people, is absolutely ridiculous.
Male privilege is the ability to move about the world in the way that you want to.
It's the experience of being left alone and free to be yourself.
Privilege is also like the absence of experience. As a man, I have the privilege of getting on New York City subway train at 1 in the morning and don't have to worry about a man wagging his dick at me. That is a male privilege that I like.
Now this is where it gets extremely repetitive. Throughout the entire rest of their video, nothing else is said other than their own anecdotal experiences, which is supposed to prove that male privilege exists. Minuscule, worthless, stupid little experiences are generalizations for all men. It is a male privilege not to have someone whip their dick out in front of you in a subway at 1 o'clock in the morning. Sure, you may have female friends who've had that happen to them, but what if I told you that I've had that happen to me too? Wouldn't that automatically invalidate your personalized experience on what male privilege is? Because someone whipped their dick out at 1 o'clock in the morning on a subway? Like, people experience bad experiences, but one little bad experience that's happened to a few different people doesn't make it a universal privilege that all men thus experience.
The first time I noticed I had male privilege was when I was walking home from hanging out with a bunch of friends who happened to be women. They had expressed being a little worried about walking home in the dark, and while I was walking, I realized that I had no worry in the world about being talked to or stared at or followed or assaulted.
Wow, man. What great privilege you have. You as a man never have to worry about being assaulted, much less ever being mugged on the street. Because, well, you're a goddamn man. Statistically speaking, this is completely incorrect. Men are actually mugged more and assaulted more on the street than women. Not that it really matters, though, because when it comes to people like you, accurate statistics really doesn't mean anything. So whether or not I quoted correct numbers or not, doesn't really negate the fact that you're gonna believe what you want to believe. But I guarantee you, if I walk onto some certain areas of where I live right now, I have a very high chance of being mugged and assaulted. In fact, I have been mugged once before in my life, and it was a terrifying goddamn experience.
So a man man could just walk down the street and no one is going to bother him. No one's going to ask him to smile. No one's going to ask him where he's going. No one's going to ask him if he's married. No one's going to ask him if they can walk with him. But this is something that I know women experience every day.
Post-transition life, my God, walking down the street is so glorious. I can actually think.
First time I ever experienced male privilege was on social media. I've always been the type to express myself and talk real crazy. And when I did it prior to transitioning, it wasn't okay. But the minute that I transitioned and everybody looked at me as that male figure, it was like, oh man, that's hilarious. I'm like, hey guy, I've been hilarious all this time. So what are you talking about?
I always tell myself, if someone has to tell me how funny and hilarious they are, chances are they fucking are not. Whether you're a fucking woman or a man, you're still not funny. And those cool little postures, those, yeah. I don't take you seriously as a man, and I wouldn't take you seriously as a fucking woman.
An unexpected aspect of male privilege for me was being taken way more seriously than I was before, and it's funny because I have all the same ideas, still thinking about the same things, and yet sometimes I would literally just be talked over or laughed at. Now people will often quiet down.
And having experienced that from both sides of the spectrum, as female and male, I call bullshit on that right now.
This video is linked down below in the description. I normally don't do what I'm about to do, but this comment was so golden and so perfect and said everything that I wanted to say that I had to screenshot and I have to show it to you. Privilege is being able to steal a man's sperm and then sue him for child support. Privilege is having the right to abort a fetus or give up on a child for adoption in complete disregard for the wishes of the father. Privilege is having the power to opt out of parenthood. Privilege is having access to abuse shelters even when you yourself are an abuser and your victim is denied access because of his gender. Privilege is being 1/3 as likely to be a victim of homicide. Privilege is being 1/4 as likely to be a victim of suicide. Privilege is being 1/4 as likely to end up homeless. Privilege is having health issues that affect your disproportionately more public funding. Privilege is paying 40% less income tax. Privilege is paying less for car insurance. Privilege is not being forced to sign an agreement saying that you will go to war and then get your limbs blown off, but the government tells you just so you can get a driver's license. Privilege is having to be socially unacceptable for your partner to hit you. Privilege is not being banned from certain places on college campuses because some special snowflakes feel triggered by your fucking presence. Privilege is not having to worry about being declared guilty in front of the court of public opinion on the mere accusation of rape in the face of a complete absence of evidence. Privilege is not having your kids get taken from you on a biased family court. Privilege is being less likely to die from child abuse. Privilege is being 9 times more likely to get adopted. Privilege is having to be socially unacceptable for others to fat shame you while you freely shame men for being short or bald. Privilege is having access to scholarships exclusively to your gender, despite the fact that your gender is already overrepresented on campuses. And I had to give that comment a thumbs up. It words almost all future videos and things that I've said in the past perfectly. So now what I want to see, the creators of this video, is I want to see women who are transgender make a video on how exactly they are privileged because they're a woman and they're transgender.
Male privilege and sexism isn't just a problem for women, but it's also about liberating ourselves. Masculinity is very diverse. Masculinity is what it is to you. You don't have to be a brute. You don't have to be an athlete. And my masculinity looks like a man who likes puppies and babies. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I was in the club this night and my brothers are around. I think it might have been Single Ladies. Something came on. I'm like, oh, the single ladies. Oh, the single. And they go, you're a man now. Men don't wild out to Beyonce like that.
What a load of horse shit. Well, you know what the problem is? It's not the fact that has to do with masculinity. It has to do that your friends are fucking stupid. Get some new and better friends, the type of people that tell you that you can't dance to Beyonce. You can dance to whatever the fuck you want. Don't blame it on male privilege. Blame it on the fact that you have bad selection of friends. That's the real problem.
And I said, but it's music.
There's no one way to be a man. There's a spectrum of masculinity and just like, be chill.
If a guy wants to really understand male privilege and understand what it is, talk to women.
Step back, listen to what other people are going through, ask them what they're going through, and I think you'll see that the world doesn't run exactly the way you think it does.
To all the men watching this video right now, go do exactly what he said. Go talk to all of the oppressed women and ask them about your male privilege. And to the women watching this video, I challenge you to tell me how you as a woman have privilege because you're a woman. I believe that I have some intelligent females who do in fact watch me, and I hope that you express your privilege over a man. Let's equally exchange our opinions, our ideas on how both genders have their own set of privileges. and that these set of privileges doesn't make you a bad person. And since we're on the topic of privilege, I want to recommend an audiobook. Audible.com is a website that hosts thousands upon thousands of audiobooks for your listening entertainment and enjoyment. If you sign up today using my vanity URL, audible.com/Mr. Repzion, you'll get a free 30-day trial. And you can check out my book recommendation called The Price of Privilege: How Parent Pressure and Material Advantages Are Making a Generation of Unhappy Children. The reason that I'm recommending this book is not only because it's awesome, but because it goes into the psychology of parents who are raising children and why those children are so goddamn unhappy and why these children are so goddamn narcissistic and selfish in our current generation right now. How we as parents, well, not we, I'm not a parent yet, are making kids so reliant upon materialistic things in order for them to be truly happy. It tackles on a scientific and psychological approach, which is one of the reasons that I'm recommending it and why it's a good book for you to listen to. Again, if you sign up using my vanity URL through audible.com, you'll get a free 30-day trial. You'll be able to listen away on the toilet, in the car, running the road, even taking a nap. Audible.com/Mr. Repzion, check it out today. All the links are linked down below in the description. And if you like this video, please smash that like button. Isn't that what all the YouTubers say now? Smash that like button if you like the video. Smash it, guys. Come on, smash it. Smash it, please.